That adultery is not an exclusively male occupation, but I am speaking about the males who can't get off a plane without making some kind of an arrangement at the hotel if they're on the road. And do you know the kind of personality about?
Yes, but I'll tell you something, Phil. First of all, I believe that the men that
do that
talk about it probably talk more than they really do. That's number one. There's a lot of bragging among you men. Mm-hmm. Women don't brag so much. They keep their mouths shut.
Right.
They're much more smarter.
Right.
Now, there are people who need that in order to feel like a man, or...
is that what it is? Is it about insecurity, or is it about...
I would speculate. I can't really say unless I have that person with me in an office, at the clinic or in my office. But I would say that very often it might be a question of just having to say to themselves, I'm still young, I'm still desirable, and I can get any woman that I just snap my finger.
Right.
Usually, Phil, in this culture of ours, most men do want one significant other, and most women want one partner. I'm not saying that they don't dream sometimes about a fantasy with a stranger, something like that, but most people do want to have one partner. Now, here's something very different.
Yeah.
Here, it is a question that she knows about it. So my question is, why do you stand for it?
Why do you stand for it?
Because I love him. Is that stupid?
No, nothing is stupid. But you say that you know that he goes with other women. Does he know that you know?
Yes.
He does. And you love him and you don't mind so much.
It's a lot longer story than what I have time to tell you.
How long have you been married?
Do what?
How long have you been married?
5 years.
Okay, wait. Since it is a much longer story, I do not just want to speculate. I'm going to take it away from this particular woman, because if it's a much longer story, there might be things there that we don't know, and I don't want to speculate.
Right.
I would say that most of the time, when there is infidelity, either there will be a divorce, or there will be an asking for forgiveness, and they will live happily forever after.
Presumably, you fix this.
Right.
Yeah.
With a marital therapist, or even just talking to each other and say, what can I do? Now, let's go back to that first sentence. She said that he wants it 12 times, she has orgasms, but she doesn't want it as often.
Right.
And here I would say, if he wants it more often, then what she should do is to masturbate him. And it's all right for him to masturbate himself also a few times.
Yeah?
I don't think that it's a solution.
Right. You know the old story, don't you? You know the gag.
No.
The teacher said to the boys in the 3rd grade, don't play with yourself, you'll go blind. And a kid in the last row said, can I do it till I need glasses? We're in New York City with Dr. Ruth, and we'll be back in just a moment.
When my granddaughter comes to visit, I stay calm, even if there's an accident. Spills are no problem, even pet stains, with the amazing Remington Vic Vac carpet stain cleaner. First, it vacuums up the stains. Then, with a special detergent and brush, its cleaning system gently dissolves and deodorizes fast. Vacuum again, and the stain is gone, leaving my carpet and my disposition spotless. The new rechargeable Remington Vic Vac treats stains like dirt.
For Post Natural Brand Flakes Rue McClanahan on getting the best out of life.
Because last night I was so bad. I'm making sure I have a good morning.
Reach for the best tasting, highest fiber brand flake. Post Brand Flakes at their best. For Post Natural Brand Flakes, Steve Allen on getting the best out of life.
My best always comes out with a little humor, and sometimes with a sliced banana.
Reach for the best tasting, highest fiber brand flake. Post Brand Flakes at their best.
People ask me, why do you think Jimmy Dean sausage is the #1 selling sausage in the country? And I have the tendency to stick out my chest and say, well, it's quality. We use the finest pork and the finest spices, and that's all true. But ask the people who made it #1. Why do you like Jimmy Dean sausage? You know what they say? Because we think it tastes the best. That's fine and dandy by me. Taste for yourself why Jimmy Dean is America's favorite sausage.
To qualify for the best jobs in Memphis, you need to know the computer. You'll find a computer helps you accomplish more from the very first touch. And you'll learn quickly at Brunel College. So you'll be ready for one of today's high-tech office careers in just a few short months. Brunel College trains executive secretaries and computer accountants. If you want a job in business, call 763-3400. Get the training you need now. Call Brunel at 763-3400.
We're in New York with Dr. Ruth. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, can you tell me, is there a certain age when a male sex drive starts really dwindling down?
About 20, 21.
No age, except that as a man grows older, do you hear, Phil? As a man grows older,
Yes.
he doesn't have what is called in the sexological language a psychogenic erection, which means he doesn't get an erection by just wanting to have sex. He needs hugging and kissing and rubbing against his wife, his partner, in order to obtain the erection. But once obtained, he can maintain it very often for a longer time.
Hi.
Hi.
Okay, I'm 24, and I still live at home, and my boyfriend's 27, and he still lives at home. And he's very, very affectionate, but only in our bedrooms. And he doesn't want to, like, kiss me or hold my hands or...
In public.
Right.
Yeah.
What do I do?
Nothing. There's nothing you can do about this. All men are this way.
Well, isn't there some way...
No, I have a question.
You've heard about this guy,
Yes.
right?
Phil, stay right there. I have a question to you. I hear you say boyfriend. I didn't hear you say my fiancé. So maybe he thinks that if he touches you in public, if he holds you, if he caresses you in public, means that everybody around you, his family, your family, thinks that you are engaged. And maybe in his mind, he did not make that commitment. Maybe.
I think she got... This is Gary Cooper. Yep, nope. You know, they're wonderful, you know, in private. But there's no show of endearment, and it makes the women crazy, including this one.
Well, I mean, he got me, like, a fake engagement ring for, like, practice. And we're talking about living together, and we've been dating for 1.5 years.
Uh-huh. Then I would just have a little talk with him and say, look, I really like to hold your hand. Don't necessarily say, you know, undressing in public, but say, I wouldn't mind when we watch television, when some people are around, for you to put your arm around me. That's all.
She's told us.
And his parents are both psychologists, too.
Yeah.
Ah, maybe that's why. Maybe he doesn't want to be analyzed. He doesn't want to be scrutinized. Then you know what? You love him?
Oh, yeah.
Then leave it alone.
Okay.
Where's the... You're not wearing the...
No, it's in my pocketbook. I left it at home.
Uh-huh. Did he explain to you this was fake before he gave it to you?
Yeah.
Isn't this a little like kissing your sister?
Well, it's a long story.
Yeah, all right. Yeah.
Dr. Ruth, do you follow your own sexual advice with your husband at home? And also, would you tell me about your book that's coming out?
Okay. First of all, I have to tell you very fast about my husband. Never do I permit him to come on any program with me, because he would tell you and Phil, do not listen to her, it's all talk. So that's number one.
You do have a book, and I'm going to show it to the people again. It's for married.
Thank you.
This is on a more serious vein, getting to the AIDS epidemic. Don't you think it'd be advisable to advise people on television, whatever, that if they're not married, that they should abstain from sex until they do get married?
I would never say that, and I tell you why. I have too much experience in working with people to know that people will not abstain. So what I am saying, that people on television, wherever they talk, people who have the airwaves, must stand up, be counted, raise money for research on AIDS. And we have to say, people, be careful and make sure that you use safer sex, not safe sex. I don't think there is such a thing. But I would never say the word abstain. I would say make sure you are in a relationship before you engage in sexual activity, but I have said that always.
Yes.
Hi, I go to Brown University, and every night we go to a place called the Ivy Room, and we sit around, and all we talk about is sex, sex, sex.
Yeah.
And I was wondering, Dr. Ruth, why it seems like there are always either one-night stands or people who are going to get married. There's very little in between on college campuses.
Okay. First of all, I have been on your campus, and it's a fabulous campus. And the talk about sex is a terrific subject of conversation, especially if you have just come from an exam on philosophy or on mathematics. But I want to tell you something. College kids have special problems because they do know that sometimes they are there for a certain period of time, and then each one is going to a different direction. So sometimes, you're quite correct, there is a reluctance to really form a relationship because they know that if it does not lead to an engagement or to marriage, it will be painful and goodbye. That's one aspect.
If the male gets her to go to bed with him first time and never calls her back, that's got to be crummy.
Wait a moment. One-night stands, Phil, are buried out.
But you don't always. What's a woman to do? How do you know? You can't have him sign a pledge card.
No, not a pledge card, but you can say, I do not go to bed, and the men should say the same thing before we have a relationship, because there's just no question that there is a tremendous amount of unhappiness involved with one-night stands.
And we'll be back in just a moment.
Used to be, you wanted to get that sweet, smoky, spicy Kansas City flavor into your barbecue. You had to get your barbecue into Kansas City. Well, things were getting pretty bad. Then Kraft put that sweet, smoky, spicy Kansas City taste in 2 of their barbecue sauces. So now Kraft barbecue sauce and Kraft thick and spicy both come in Kansas City style, and you can get them in your hometown. So don't go bothering those nice folks no more, okay?
Up in Chicago, the #1 hot dog is Oscar Mayer. But down in New Orleans, Brian is #1. In Buffalo and Minneapolis, Oscar Mayer is #1. But in Birmingham and Memphis, Brian beats him. Say, maybe you're wondering why Brian hot dogs aren't #1 up north, too. We think it might be because we don't sell them up there. Brian, the #1 hot dog from the South.
Into success and turn on to broiled.
Turn on to a whole new kind of chicken. Church's new classic broil. Incredibly delicious. Church's new classic broiled chicken. Tender, juicy, oven broiled. Deep marinated and specially seasoned for unbattered, unbeatable flavor in every bite. So turn into Church's.
And turn on to broiled.
Church's new classic broiled chicken. More of a good thing.
I would like for the record to show that a poor country boy with a dream could rise to the heights of leading this state out of joblessness, illiteracy, and poverty. That John Arthur Eves had compassion for every Mississippian to help that person fulfill his goal and become what he ought to be and can be.
Hi, Dr. Ruth's on the line. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm a 24-year-old single female, and I've been sexually active on and off for the past 8 years, I'd say. My problem is I find guys that I care for and I've slept with, and they ejaculate before me, and then they get upset when I don't have an orgasm, and I tell them it takes a very, very long time for me to have an orgasm. I've had very few in my life. And they get very upset, and they try harder, and they try harder, and it gets to a point where I'm going crazy because I can't have an orgasm, and they're going crazy because they can't give me one, and in the end, all I do is get sore.
Well, who wants to take this one? You're going to forgive us for giggling about this. It's not going to make you feel better to know, probably, that you are not alone.
I know that. There's probably millions of us out there.
This is...
Okay, one very fast question is, first of all, do not engage in intercourse before you know that you are ready. When you prolong foreplay, and when I hear that you get sore, means that you are probably not lubricating enough. Then just you have to find some way of adjusting. It doesn't matter if you do some foreplay and maybe then play a chess game and then go back into bed. It doesn't have to be all in one setting.
You see this guy trying to concentrate on a chess game?
I'm a mother. We're two different generations. I'm wondering, whatever happened to romance and beautiful music? How many people get in the mood through music? And
you're right.
She's presuming that all those old-fashioned people were having a good time.
No, but what you are absolutely right. Some of the good things from the olden times, like the candlelight and the music and dancing, maybe naked in the living room, all of these things have to be brought in addition.
Look at the titles. I'm in the mood for love, in the mood. I mean, look at the titles today. I would be ashamed to say them. And I think it's the whole societal thing with the demystification of sex.
Yeah, that we have made it a sport. And
no, we have to make that combination. And when we do have that combination of the stars twinkle and the moonlight and the walk along the shore and good knowledge about sex, that's it.
I don't want to, Yes. You don't have any particular advice for the woman on the phone, no?
No, not really. I wanted to ask you about another issue. How do you feel about sexual education for children in schools?
I'm very grateful to a guy like Phil, who has had many sex educators here, and to the Surgeon General, because I do believe that sex education has to be taught at home, in the schools, in the churches and synagogues, community centers, and radio and television. From an early age on.
I have a son that he's in college, and we know he's got an active sexual life. He's got a real important girlfriend.
Probably be better if you didn't smile when you said that.
We've always been real open about sex in our home.
Good for you.
But he's never brought her home, and that is coming up.
Oh, really?
And my husband and I have a little disagreement about where this girl is going to spend the night.
Fabulous question. Let me tell you something. If one of you, it doesn't matter if it's you or your husband, feels that the girl should sleep in the guest room, speak up and tell your son, honey, I'll be delighted to have your girl here. For whatever reason, you don't have to give a reason. You don't have to find an excuse. You can only say, I or your husband, whoever it is, will feel more comfortable if you sleep in your room and she sleeps in the guest room. Now, I'm not suggesting that you and your husband should sit up all night to worry if they will visit each other. But what I'm saying loud and clear is the air is cleared, and nobody is going to be tense. Even though you know that they are together on campus, and you quote me, tell your son that nobody has ever died by not having sex for a few nights.
We've already had a confrontation about this because at one time he brought a girl home and we didn't know it.
I see.
And we found out later that she was in the bedroom next to it.
You don't want them both in the same room.
I don't really care.
Who
I think
cares?
it's my husband that has a bigger problem.
And he has the right to his opinion. And tell them to sleep separately, or at least to wake up separately, to wait until you go to sleep.
This is directed to the young lady who just called. This is not advice. This is only a suggestion. A bathtub or a shower might help her and her mate.
Excellent. I agree. Especially bubble bath. Especially bubble bath.
Yes, bubble bath.
What do you do when a couple has disconnecting times? Like he wants it in the morning and you want it at night, and neither one want it at the same time.
I hear that question all the time.
Do you?
All the time, because...
Well, it's true, you know, with everybody running to work and...
That's not the only thing that most women, you know, the testosterone level, the male sexual hormone is the highest in the morning.
Is it?
Yes. I know what you're going to do tomorrow morning. Now, many women have been taught to engage in sex because of the romantic aspect at night, because of the hair is combed and the makeup, and two people really have to find a way. For example, Saturdays and Sundays, to get up in the morning, go and have some breakfast, and right back into bed, so that there is some kind of an adjustment in terms of the timing.
Hi, thanks for waiting. Are you there?
Yes, I am. Hi.
Hi.
My fiance was supposed to be getting married in September. We have sex maybe once a month, and we live together. And I've talked to him about it. I've talked to many times about it, and he just refuses to go see anybody about it. I asked him, to talk to me about it if it's him, if it's something I was doing. And I just can't seem to get any answers.
I would say to you that unless he's willing to have a talk with somebody, maybe not to get married. Because what I hear, if I hear correctly, is that you would like it more often than once a month. Is that right?
I think anybody would.
You have to insist that he goes and sees somebody.
Yeah. Does that trouble you, that advice? She's suggesting that you may be in for a very long and dramaless marriage.
Yeah, I see that coming, and I've asked him to go, and I've even made an appointment because he said he would go, and then when the time rolled around, he had an excuse not to.
Mm-hmm. And then try just a few more times with love, but with being very firm. Okay?
Yeah. Do you ever have second thoughts about the advice you've given?
Yes, that's a very important question. Because I don't do therapy. All I do is to educate and to give some general advice. I sometimes walk away and I say, oops, I forgot something. I should have also said something else. But you know what? People out there are very smart. Because very often, they know what I'm going to say. All they need is a little bit of reassurance. If a woman calls and says that she's out with a married man who for 3 years told her that he's going to get a divorce and he'll marry her, she knows what I'm going to say. So very often it is just this kind of giving a little bit of reaffirmation by saying your decision is the right one.
Yes. I have two sons, 8 and 11, and I'm sure they're watching because I'm here. How do I go home and explain this program?
Tell them that luckily for them, they have a mother who is interested in any topic that Phil Donahue might have on his show. Tell them also you didn't know that it would be me. You didn't know that they would talk about sex. And then say, but since you were here and they see you smile, tell them that later on when they have questions, you hope they will ask you.
And we'll be back in a moment.
I can't sleep, and I've got the world's worst day tomorrow.
Oh, then you better get some Z's.
Nitol will help you get your Z's.
Come on, Nitol. Give me some Z's.
Nitol will help you get your Z's.
Nitol helps you feel drowsy so you can fall asleep fast and get your Z's.
Nitol will help you get your Z's. Mr. Big Stuff.
Introducing Oreo Big Stuff.
Who do you think you are? Oreo Big Stuff. Oreo Big Stuff. Who do you think you are?
New Oreo Big Stuff. More chocolate, more cream.
You're big and satisfying, taking you with me all the time. Oreo Big Stuff. Looks like you're gonna go far. Oreo Big Stuff. Oreo Big Stuff. Who do you think you are? The Big Stuff. It keeps them dry, yeah. It keeps them dry. Cause you love First Choice, First Choice. It keeps them comfy, yeah. It keeps them comfy. Cause you love First Choice, First Choice.
New First Choice, the premium diaper with triple layer dryness. Keeps them dry, keeps them comfy, and it costs less. Yes, it does.
First Choice.
Hello,
Hello, friends. Al Purnell here at historic Beaumont Inn in Harrisburg, Kentucky. Come on in. Bud and Chuck Denman operate a family business like we do, Mama. Beaumont Inn is known for its delicious food, including the old folks' country sausage.
And links too, Alan. That's right. We've tried lots of country sausage, but Purnell's Old Folks is the best. And that's why we serve it to our guests.
And if Beaumont Inn serves old folks' country sausage, you know it's good.
The heart is our source of life, but heart disease is the #1 killer. The answer is prevention. This week, Action News 5 and Methodist hospitals are offering free cardiology screenings. You can visit any one of the Memphis area Methodist locations, a different one each day. We'll be giving you the locations and times on Action News 5 at noon, 5, and 10. For information, call 726-8226. 1 in 4 Americans has heart disease. Early detection could save a life.
The program is titled Ask Dr. Ruth. This happens to be her latest book, Dr. Ruth's Guide for Married Lovers. Yes, ma'am.
Dr. Ruth, my question has nothing to do with sex.
Okay.
How dull. Last week I went to the theater, and I was standing by the half-price ticket board on 47th Street, and I was approached by a woman who said, would I like to be in the Dr. Ruth audience? And she pointed to a little van and said, this is how we take you. Is that really how you get your studio audience? Because I pictured little Dr. Ruth coming out of the van kidnapping people.
There is no question that our program is so new that we do not have the luxury that my friend Phil Donahue has, where people are waiting for 2 years to get to his audience. Yes, they do have a van, and sometimes what they do is to say, would you like to go, because we're on 57th Street, to the audience. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Dr. Ruth, you say it's all right to fantasize during sex, but I'm getting tired being called Phil when my name's Wally.
I have to say something seriously to that. That's a wonderful question. Anybody who uses fantasies, and fantasies are wonderful, has to be super careful of keeping their mouths shut.
Let me say first that I appreciate the title of your book. It's for married lovers. Another thing you mentioned about companionship should be there and love. And then you mentioned about snoring. My husband snores, but for 46 years, we've been very happy. Question.
46?
46 years. Wow. He should have been here as a psychiatrist to ask very good questions. My question, though, is, don't you think sometimes, although you're doing very well, this can be carried too far, the analysis of the spontaneity
of the sex?
Of sex might get lost.
If we analyze it so much that it becomes...
Look, you have a very serious point there, because, God forbid, I don't want anybody to think that sex ought to be mechanical. But we never talked about it. So to be able to talk on Phil's show openly and using the proper terminology is wonderful. And you know what will happen in a couple of years? It will go, the pendulum will swing into the middle. But right now we have to speak so explicitly because we never spoke like that. Thank you.
We have lots of wisdom out here,
Dr. Ruth, I was wondering if you're familiar with the work of Louise Hay on the West Coast. She's worked with AIDS patients. She's a metaphysical counselor.
No.
Can you want to ask a question?
Yeah, I was wondering what you believed about the work she's doing as far as the metaphysical.
Sorry, not familiar.
My wife and I are enjoying our 30th wedding anniversary. We still experiment with sex.
Congratulations. Very good.
And I want to tell Dr. Ruth, if she could explain the technique in generality of the Venus butterfly.
Do you know what he's talking about?
Yes. The reason I know it because...
And this audience knows what he's talking about?
Even the mother of those two lovely boys knows what we are talking about. And I do not think there is such a thing, but there was a clever line on one of those television programs. And as far as I know, there's no such thing. But I tell you something. You, since you're married 30 years, make believe there is such a thing. Think of something. It doesn't matter. It can be with your nose. It can be with your big toe. And say, this is Venus butterfly.
I'm glad you waited. Go ahead.
Yes. I have a question for Dr. Ruth. I've been married 11 years and have had an explicit sex life with my husband. We're happy. We act like newlyweds. We have 3 children. But I know for a fact that he masturbates, if not every morning, every other morning in the shower, and has done this for years. Mentioned it to him about 4 or 5 years ago, and it has still continued.
Okay.
Even though I am there waiting and knowing I'm always there. I've never said no to the man.
First of all, don't take that personal, because I just heard you say that you have a very good sex life, everything is all right, and you just ignore it. There might be reasons, because when he masturbates, it is faster than when he makes love, maybe. There might be other reasons that he can come to an ejaculation faster. What I would do, if I were you, I would just make believe that you don't even know about it and enjoy your sex life with him as much as you can.
Can I ask a question? You can hear the music. I don't have any time, but why do you care?
Well, because I'm laying in bed knowing he's doing this, and I'm wishing he was there with me.
Okay,
instead of in the shower.
But he was there with you last night, right?
Yeah. But
I see.
That's it. It's on a nightly basis, but it could be in the morning also.
Yeah.
Let him masturbate happily, and you live happily forever after.
And we'll be back in just a minute.
When was the last time you had a thick, juicy, charbroiled steak? Right now at State Line Meats, you can get 160 pounds of USDA choice meat for $1.21 a pound. That's rounds, loins, ribs, and chucks, plus plates and flanks for $1.21 a pound. But wait, that's not all. These guys have gone hog wild. With this purchase, they'll give you 80 pounds of pork and poultry absolutely free. That's 20 pounds of fresh fryers, 20 pounds of lean pork chops, 20 pounds of lean sliced bacon, and 20 pounds of smoked ham for free. Only with State Line Meats' easy payment plan can you get all this. 240 pounds of meat at 4 easy payments for as low as $48.40. Hold on, that's not all. For the first 50 customers calling and reserving cutting time and opening a 90-day account, we'll give an extra bonus of 60 free steaks. That's right, 60 free steaks. So call State Line Meats now, 342-4655. That's 342-4655.
I don't know what Hey, Cookie, more pecani sauce. This ain't paste pecani sauce.
What's the difference?
Cookie, paste pecani sauce is made in San Antonio with fresh vegetables and spices by people who know what pecani sauce is supposed to taste like.
This stuff's made in New York City?
New York City?
Get a rope.
Pick up the original Picante sauce. Pick up the pace.
Don't miss Scott Appliance's 46th anniversary sale. It's their biggest sale of the year with values of a lifetime in every Scott Appliance store. See their ad in the commercial appeal.
Shop Goldsmith's Buyers and Manager Sale for our lowest prices of the season. At Goldsmith's, now.
Bowl for Kids' Sake, April 4th to 11th at Billy Hardwick's All-Star Lanes, and help the work of Big Brothers Big Sisters. Call 324-3694 for details.
Is it abnormal not to masturbate?
Is it what?
Is it abnormal not to?
No, it's not abnormal. Some people don't masturbate, and that's perfectly all right.
Yes.
At what age should you educate your children about sex?
The moment they're born, because the attitude about sex is transmitted from the very start when that baby is being held.
I read in a book called Among Friends that we're taught to be homosocial and heterosexual. I was wondering if you have any comment on that.
I do not comment on that because we don't have enough scientifically validated research data on it.
Well, I think she's saying that we seem to be afraid of strangers, yet we're,
No,
but
she says-
interested in sex. Isn't that what's the guy?
Yeah, well, we're taught to be, it's like men and women can be friends, but they are supposed, women and women can't be friends, and...
Men and women are supposed to be sexual.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're adorable, Dr. Ruth, but I was wondering, when you first started going public with this, did you get a lot of opposition from people?
No, I did not, and the first one who was surprised about it was me. But I think part of it is because we are talking in such an open way, and it's based on good scientific facts.
Yes. Dr. Ruth, I think you're the queen of sexual advice. Do you ever think that a man could be your counterpart and be accepted?
Of course. Would you like a job?
Well, there are not a few men out there.
It begins with a tradition of superior taste. It begins with Martini and Rossi Asti Spumante. Betty Lou just got a...
which came as music to our ears. Or, if Murphy's Oil soap can perform in this house, it surely can perform in yours.
Concerned, Mother? You better believe it. We spend time together. Right now, we're having a snack with Nilla wafers. They're Nabisco, and I like that. And she loves them, don't you?
Yeah.
No fudge, no fluff. Just simple goodness I can feel good about. Only the best for her. You know?
Yeah.
Nabisco Nilla wafers. Simple goodness you can feel good about.
Nabisco.
Country Boy Waterbeds is now giving away $160 in cash discounts and free merchandise with every regular waterbed purchase. You get a free set of sheets, a free pair of pillows, a free pair of padded side rails, and a complete waterbed care kit. In addition, you also get a $50 cash discount on your choice of over 70 different waterbed styles. If you'd like to keep your present bedroom furniture, replace your mattress and springs with this Soma water mattress. Now reduced to $100 at your Waterbed Superstore.
$39 down. Covington Pike Toyota, the South's #1 dealer, is out to break every sales record this month. With $39 down, you can own any new Covington Pike Toyota truck or car. $39 down and $129 a month, and you own a new Toyota pickup. Covington Pike Toyota, the #1 dealer, has over 1,000 trucks and cars for sale at prices up to $300, even $500 less than any other dealer anywhere. Come in today and own the Covington Pike Toyota truck or car of your choice for $39 down.
I'm a big potato guy, so naturally I love the big potato taste of Idaho potatoes. Who doesn't? But until you dig into one, sometimes it's hard to tell the difference between an Idaho potato and a potato from someplace else. That's why the Idaho people came up with this, the Grown in Idaho seal. It says you're getting the big potato taste of Idaho and nothing else. The Idaho potato seal, the Idaho potato. Clever people, these Idahoans.
Because of all the fear of the age and everything, and people are, you know, they're easy to reject you. You know, they're quicker to say, nah, we don't want to be interested in you. You know.
It's harder now. It's more difficult to affect a relationship because of the fear, you mean?
Exactly.
So you're going to be celibate.
Well, I want to get my interest back. You know, I
Service
miss
provided and promotional fees paid by the following.
Yeah, not...
The car for people whose means have changed, but whose values haven't. The Volvo 760.
You'll be ready for do-it-yourself projects with this True Value Master Mechanic 57-piece standard and metric socket set from True Value hardware stores and home centers.
The Drake offers an exciting weekend in New York at a special price. The only Swiss hotel on Park Avenue. For reservations, call 800-DRAKE-NEW YORK or 212-421-0900.
He's still on the phone, Dr. Ruth. What did you want to say?
The moment he will find that woman that he's going to fall in love with, that gorgeous...
This is the chair at the National Dental Center in Memphis. Pretty amazing, really. You see, it comes with a dentist. In fact, several. Even an orthodontist. But it also comes with sports stuff, great-looking clothes, hardware, appliances, a whole Sears store wrapped around it for you to fool.